Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Global Happenings today. We are in the season of electioneering, and it looks like one of the latest gimmicks now some politicians have been doing is to, I don't know if they gather the crowd that will, beg them to go ahead and do and contest or declare their intentions. The likes of Okorocha, some groups have come up and say, look, you have to declare before the end of this month. But one of the unique persons that Nigerians really genuinely have been looking out for with the hope that he was going to declare, but alas, he's been very quiet, and Nigerians have decided to call him out. In fact, some bold Nigerians have decided to do the needful. This is not getting funny, and he had to give a reason why what he's doing it. Before we go into the news, people, like subscribe to our channel if you have not done so already by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Well, the race for 2023 presidential polls has already begun, gaining momentum as political parties, politicians, and even support groups have started making necessary efforts and movement to ensure victory at the end of the polls. Hence, interested candidates from different regions of the country have already explicitly declared their intention to contest for the apex political seat of the country by 2023. Politicians like Bola Ahmed Tr0uble, aka Jagaban, Ojo Zokalo, Anyim Pius Anyim, Kingsley Mogalo, Bukola Saraki have all declared their intentions for the 2023 presidential polls. We forgot to mention Umahi David of Ebonyi State, but let's continue. However, there are still some top politicians who, due to their political capacity and history, have been rumored to have interest, but they are yet to declare their intentions openly. One of such politicians is the vice presidential candidate of PDP for the 2019 presidential election. That's Mr. Tr0uble. Consequently, the former governor of Anambra State is currently trending on social media due to the implicit reply he gave to a Twitter user that asked him about his 2023 presidential ambition. Where the user asked Mr. Tr0uble to declare his intention for 2023 presidential poll or face legal actions from him. This could be a die-hard supporter of the Anambra politician who feels that there is a need for him to declare his presidential intention soon enough. However, going through the tweet, the reply of Mr. Tr0uble is quite implicit because Mr. Tr0uble did not have a categorical answer, but rather stated that he should be given time. This implicit answer of Mr. Tr0uble could be coming from the point of consultation before he declares his intention and his interest. Recall that in 2019, he was the vice presidential candidate in PDP, and this could be the possible seat as vice president he's interested in rather than the presidential seat. He could also be waiting to see if PDP, as a party, will settle for zoning for his presidential ticket, as there have been calls for power shift by some regions. Time is very indispensable tool in politics, and most times the earlier a politician declares his intention explicitly, the earlier he begins to gain more supporters. It is good to understand that as Mr. Tr0uble requested for more time before he declares his intention ahead of 2023 presidential race, this could make him lose supporters to other politicians who have already declared their intentions. Also, regional consultation is another important tool for winning election in Nigeria. Hence, the more Mr. Tr0uble delays in making his intention known, the more likely he could lose the support of some top regional leaders and elites who would have thrown their weight behind other politicians who declared their intentions earlier. In conclusion, though Mr. Tr0uble has his reason for not openly declaring his intention yet, however, the earlier he declares his intention, the more chances he has to gain much more supporters ahead of 2023 presidential elections. Of course, one may be wondering, what is that thing, or what was the reply he gave to that Twitter user that caused a lot of frenzy online. Now, here is what a diehard fan and a Nigerian and a youth who saw the need for a proactive leader to take the seat, the apex seat in the country, that's the presidential seat. And this was what he told Tr0uble that made a lot of Nigerians to react and even, concretize their plead for for Peter Obi to contest. Now I'm going to read this tweet. He said, "Sir, if at the end of this month and you don't declare interest for presidency, not vice, for presidency 2023 election, then be ready for a legal action from me. Leave AFCON 2021 football alone for Tr0uble. That's his calling, not yours." Can you imagine? He's saying that Tr0uble is a football fan, that this is serious business of running the country, which is Peter Obi's call. So your calling is excellent economic leadership. Is that not even telling him congrats in advance? Team Nigeria, meaning, come on, Peter Obi, what are you waiting for? Just declare. Nigerians are looking at history and antecedent, and looking at your past records. Nigerians they are looking for this is no more regionalization again. Able hands. I'm not talking about those who will come and talk is cheap. Those who will go in there, they are talking. They will tell you in 15 hours we eradicate insecurity. In 2 days we'll clean up corruption. One practicability, not the one that will tell us that in 1 year we'll make naira will become 1 kobo to $1. These are not realistic, goals. Want people who will give us promises and you highlight how you're going to achieve it. And look at the response Peter Obi gave to that guy. He said, "I wish I knew your real name, but the truth is, I don't have money to spend on a court case, so give me some time." If you are conversant with politics, you agree with me that after 2019 election polls, where he fared as a vice president and Atiku Abubakar was the president, a lot went down when it comes to the issue of court cases. They won, they didn't win. It was done through online counting, voting took place. It didn't take place. Server was hacked, server was not hacked. Too many things. A lot of money went down, and it's like, look, it's whether you like it or not, there should be some amount of money you should keep for court cases in case it gets that level. And they say that he doesn't have enough money for those, doesn't have that kind of money for court cases. If we are going to the polls, you're going to the polls. But the truth is, if you got a good antecedent, as it is, Nigerians will not want to try a new hand. They have not been tested, so that we don't have a tyrant as a president in the name of looking for a democratic president. But we are looking at someone who have been tasted, trusted, and have a good antecedent and good history of being an economic champion. And we must give it to Peter Obi when it comes to that. The cap fits him, at least from those who have declared thus far. I'm not campaigning for him, but we're looking at past record. Let's look at past records and let's begin to say, based on past record, who is the cap fitting? And of course, like the writer said, if he doesn't declare on time, and political juggernauts, political gladiators, push their weight on the ones they have chosen who have declared earlier on, he may likely lose out when it comes to political campaigning. That's what's going to wrap it up. What's your take on what is going on around the